Alright, this video is for the Blended Algebra 2, Unit 1, Lesson 1 practice. So this is the function notation practice. In this practice, I'm going to do numbers 1, 1A, that's right, 1C, 1H and I, and then we'll do number 3 together. Okay, so for 1A, we're going to find g of 10. Now, for the function of g, it says g of 10 right here. I'm going to use this function that also has the letter g. Because the 10 is in the parentheses here, that means it's an x value. So I'm going to put that 10 in for x into the equation. So I'll have negative 3. Instead of x, I'm putting 10 plus 1. Now all you have to do is simplify. You can type that right into your calculator. Negative 3 times 10 is negative 30 plus 1, which is negative 29. That would be your final answer. For C, I'm looking for h of negative 2, so I'm using the function of h, which just happens to be right above it. That negative 2 is in parentheses, which is an x value. So I'm going to put that negative 2 in for x here. So all I have to do here is negative 2 over 12, which you could leave as your final answer, but that fraction simplifies to be negative 1 over 6. That would be your final answer. That's all there was to that one. For h, I'm going to use g again. It says find x when f of x, or when, I'm sorry, g of x is 16. That 16 is a y value. When it is not in parentheses, when they give you the y value, you're going to take that value and set it equal to the function of g of x, negative 3x plus 1. Then you're going to solve that equation for x. So you'll subtract 1 from both sides and get 15 equals negative 3x and divide by negative 3. You end up with getting negative 5 equal to x. Same idea here in I. We're again using the function of h. Find x when h of x is negative 2. Well, that negative 2, again, it's not in the parentheses, so it's a y value. So you're going to take negative 2 and set it equal to the function of h, which is x over 12. In order to get x by itself, you just have to move the denominator from that fraction, which means you multiply both sides by 12, and you end up with negative 24 equals x. So those are the videos for that's the video for number 1 here. If you need help on B or J or D, ask your teacher or find the key on Canvas. Now if we do number 3 here, we are given a graph. The first question says, is f of x a function? Well, remember, for a graph, to determine if something is a function, you use the vertical line test. It does appear to pass the vertical line test because anywhere I draw a line, it only crosses one time. So yes, that graph is a function. Now, I'm going to evaluate points here. F of negative 4. Negative 4 is an x value, so I'm going to go to where x is negative 4 on the graph here. It looks like I have to go down 3 to find an output. Same with 0. If I start at x of 0, I have to go up to 4 to find an output. At f of 3, 3 is an x value because it's in the parentheses. At 3, I have to go down 1 to get an x value. And finally, f of 2. 2 is an x. And I don't have to move anywhere. See how the point is already right there at 0. Now the next question is the backwards way, just like we did with the equations in number 1. Find the value of x when f of x is negative 3. That negative 3 is a y. So you go onto your graph, remember, like the notes, and you draw a horizontal line at 3, or negative 3, I'm sorry. Well, we look now for where the graph crosses that line. It looks like I have a point right here, and right here. Well, the x it corresponds to is -4. And then there's another one. That other point corresponds at x equals -2. All right, the last one here says, how many times does f of x equal 0? Well, that 0 is a y. How many times does my graph give you a y value of 0? So you draw your horizontal line at y equals 0, and you count how many times you cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You cross 5 times. All right, so that's the end of this video. If you need more help on this practice on number 2 or anything else on number 1, find the key that's posted on Canvas or see your teacher for help.
Okay.